Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christina, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys all about sensory play. Sensory play is one of my favorite topics. It is one of my favorite things to do with my kids because it has so many benefits. I want to talk to you today about all of the benefits of sensory play, how we utilize sensory play in our home with kids of different ages, all different ways that we do it. And I also want to share a sensory play giveaway with you guys today, as well as show you how to make it as simple as it can possibly be to get started with sensory play in your home. First, I want to talk to you guys about all of the benefits of sensory play and why we do it in our home. First, I'm just going to talk to you about the practical benefits, the benefits that I see as a mom that not only help me as a mom, but help my kids. So first and foremost, I have a very active 3-year-old. We've done sensory play. It's something that we've done for a while. We've done it increasingly over the last couple of years, but it has become a major part of the way that we operate around here, specifically with my very active 3-year-old. So my 3-year-old is super active and he's super physical, and it's great. He loves to run, jump, play. He's a risk taker. He has a very fun personality, and that's great. And we've actually set up in our home in a way that he can kind of nurture that part of his personality without being completely shut down and asking him to fight it all the time. So I will probably do a video in the near future all about how you can do that in your home, simple ways that you can just make sure active play indoors is available to your active kids. Because if you live in a place like I do, that it is very cold for quite a few months of the year, as much as I love to get outside as much as possible, when it's a day like today, when it's 12 degrees, not always possible for very long. So be on the lookout for that video coming very soon. So as much as I love to nurture that part of his personality, there are of course times when I need him to calm down, or I want him to calm down, or both, right? So sensory play is something that I use for those times where I need him to calm down his body, calm down his mind, sort of like refocus, reset, whether it be for calming down before a nap, which he doesn't always do, or calming down before bedtime, or just transitioning from really wild, fun pillow fights with his siblings into settling down before dinner, or just settling down in general. And so typically what I'll do is, if they are having a lot of fun and they are being really active, and I have 5 minutes, which is really all I need at this point to get something set up, I will set up some sort of sensory play or sensory bin on the kitchen table before I even stop them from their active fun play that they're doing, so that the way that I can transition in not a negative way and not getting annoyed and not yelling at them to calm down is to say, hey guys, I set something up for you at the table. And they love to hear that, and they get really excited and they run over. And it's almost immediate for them at this point, because it's become such a habit and they know how much they like getting into it, that he'll start to settle down right away. He'll start talking a lot because he's really excited to see what's there. But within minutes, his body and his mind clearly start to calm down. And so kids that have a lot of energy and they're really active, a lot of times they are seeking stimulation, right? They want to feel stimulated. So something like sensory play gives them that stimulation in a different way, right? It keeps them from getting bored, but also keeps them from getting overstimulated. So it's that nice, happy medium. It's the healthy way to stimulate their minds through sensory experiences. So as opposed to overstimulating things like TV shows that totally seem like, oh, they calm my child down because they're putting them in a trance, sensory play gets them using their hands and experiencing something and experimenting. So that's one thing that I like about sensory play, is that it helps them transition, it helps them calm down, and it also stimulates them in a healthy way. I like that it's also an open-ended activity. So I do think that closed activities are sometimes helpful too. Like they get the end result, they get the end product, they get the satisfaction of finishing something or completing something, and then they also learn how to do something, right? But there's also so many benefits to open-ended play and just experimenting and experiencing and not always looking for an end result and just being able to create. And so that's another reason why I like sensory play is it's never done. Even as much as painting is amazing and beautiful and a sensory experience, it does usually have a done aspect to it. It is done now, right? And we move on. Well, sensory is one of those things that's never really done and you can always jump back into. And there are so many different kinds of sensory play that even if they get bored with one, it's easy to just pull out another. So I usually have a few different sensory activities really just ready to go in a bin or ready to put into a bin quickly so that if they seem to be getting bored with one, I can easily pull out another. And oftentimes he'll request a specific type of sensory activity. I am going to talk to you about some more benefits of sensory play, but I want to jump in and show you the easiest way that you can start sensory play in your home, and that is through the brand new mini crate from Knowledge Crates that is all sensory. It is the sensory mini crate. Now I have shared Knowledge Crates many times here on my channel and over on Instagram because they have so many incredible boxes. They have the seasonal subscription box that is like double the size of this, that is loaded with all different hands-on activities and sensory and art, science, literacy, math, all fun hands-on activities themed for winter, spring, summer, fall. And they also have mini crates that are mini versions of those that are themed. I shared the jungle one over on Instagram. They have a farm mini crate. They have all different ones. This is the first that is all sensory. All of the other ones include a sensory aspect, at least one sensory thing in there, like water beads and Play-Doh and things like that. But this one is all sensory. So if sensory play is something that you have wanted to jump into, but just haven't known where to start or haven't gotten around to it, this is for you. So let's take a look at what comes in the sensory mini crate from Knowledge Crates. And this is also the giveaway that I was talking to you guys about. One of you is going to be able to win one of these brand new released sensory mini crates from Knowledge Crates. So be sure to watch till the end so that you know how to enter to win. Okay, so let's check out what is inside this mini crate. Now, first I just want to show you that you always have some instructions, or at least kind of a table of contents to let you know everything that is inside the crate. And so what I love about this is that it tells you exactly what's in here. And then it also tells you that you will find a children's book that focuses on the area of social and emotional skills, 6 different sensory experiences, and a variety of tools to explore. And I love what they say here because this is so true about sensory play that there is no particular place to start. So you don't have to have it figured out. Like, there's no wrong way to do it. If you get the one for younger kids, you will get this How Full Is Your Bucket picture book, which is so sweet, and I cannot wait to read this to my kids. And then if you pick the box for older kids, you will get the Young Readers edition of How Full Is Your Bucket. And this one is clearly for older kids. There are even areas where they can write, or you can just choose to discuss them, just as ways to apply what you're learning about positive strategies for school and life. So I'm really excited about both of those books because social emotional learning is also something that I'm really, really passionate about. And so what you also get inside your crate is instructions. So in the full-size seasonal crates, you get a booklet, and in these you get these little cards, which is really cool. And it gives you ideas for how to ask questions before, during, and after the story and all of that good stuff. And I just love that. So let's jump into some of the sensory materials. So you have the jumbo water beads complete with the instructions. These get pretty big. You have the regular size water beads, also complete with instructions. You have 5 different colors of kinetic sand, which is so fun. You could give them one at a time. You could give them all together. So many options to use those. You have the foam dough, which is just another sensory experience. I just love all of the different tactile experiences in this one crate. This I'm also really excited about because not only do you get all of these different sensory materials, but you get the tools. So you have this little rolling pin, which I'm really excited about because we don't have one of these yet. We do have a little sensory tool kit that I love, but it does not have that. It also comes with a couple of little wooden figures, which is really exciting. These little wooden knives. You have the rainbow spoons and rainbow sticks, and then these little wooden tweezer things. So super excited about that. You don't even have to worry about getting the tools for it. Next up, you have 6 different colors of Play-Doh. They're individually wrapped, so you could use them one at a time or all together. This I'm really excited about, the rainbow rice. I have been wanting to make colored rice because I've seen people do that, but I just never get around to it. And so I'm so excited for them to have this sensory experience, and it's all different colors. And this is a really big bag, you guys. So I'm super excited about that. And then you just have these little cups that can sort of, they can use them or you can use them to set things out. You could put the little sensory tools in there. And so that's kind of helpful to have as well. So that's everything in the bin. I just want to say that there are so many different ways that you can choose to introduce these activities, especially if sensory play is somewhat new to your child or one of these specific sensory experiences new to your child. You could do just each sensory activity separate. You could kind of have a combination of maybe 2 different types of sensory play on the table and set up stations. If you have multiple kids, you could give each kid a different kind of sensory play or let them choose or maybe let them rotate. You kind of have to figure out what works best for your children and their preferences as well as their ages. So jumping back into some of the benefits, I just want to give you a couple more benefits, a couple more ways that we utilize sensory play and kind of the benefits of sensory play. Sensory play is a really great way for your child to have something to do with their hands if you are trying to read to them or you are trying to teach them something. So for instance, if you are homeschooling and your child kind of has a hard time sitting still during read alouds or when you're doing a lesson with them or something like that, having something to do with their hands actually helps them concentrate. It stimulates their mind enough that they're not fidgeting, that they're not daydreaming, and they can actually listen better and retain more of the information. And so to think about if this will really help your child, think about if your child is like a nail biter or a picker or a doodler or a pen tapper or a pen clicker or any host of fidgety things that they might do during lessons or read alouds. And if that is your child, then sensory play could make a huge difference in their focus and just calming their mind and their body during times when you need them to do that. I mean, this can be all aged kids. So even if you have an older child, like sensory play isn't just for younger children. It might look different in the way that you present it. Like maybe you just give them a ball of Play-Doh to play with if they're an older kid and they're like, I don't want to play with kiddie stuff. Or maybe you just give them some kinetic sand to play with in a bowl or in a tray. There are so many different ways to do this that it doesn't need to feel super childish if they are an older child. This might even be if your kid is not homeschooled and they're trying to sit down and do their homework and they have a hard time staying focused. This can be something maybe that helps them. So it's definitely worth a shot because it's a healthy way of calming them down and staying focused as opposed to sticking your kid in front of the TV for them to zone out because they're overstimulated by the children's shows that are purposefully addictive. So this is a great way if you're trying to reduce screen time. This is also a great way to do that because it is stimulating for them, but in a healthy way. Touching back on transitions. So if your kid is in school outside of the home and they have sometimes a hard time transitioning home for whatever reason, because they have a hard day or they're tired or they're agitated or they don't want to jump right into homework, or maybe they don't want to jump right into talking about their day just yet, this can be kind of a great way to build the bridge during that transition home, where if you are home before they are, maybe you take 5 minutes before they get home and set something up for them to just really have a positive thing to come home to. Maybe you have a snack and a sensory tray and a glass of water, and if they're hungry and thirsty and that's why they're cranky, that'll take care of that. Or if they just need a calming kind of centering activity before they transition back to being home, that can help them too. It's also a great way to have them sit at the counter with you or sit at the table while you're cooking if you need to cook, but you want to be able to talk with them, and they're not going to necessarily help you cook, but they're going to get bored if they just sit there. You can, I know for me, I have plenty of times with my 3-year-old or my 6-year-old where I will pop a sensory bin right up on the countertop with a stool while I'm cutting up vegetables and cooking. And cooking with you is also a sensory activity of sorts, having them cut up things that are safe for them to cut up, or having them maybe put spices in something. So sensory can also be something not specific to a sensory bin or sensory activity, so to speak. So think outside the box with those things as well. Things like oobleck and making slime for older kids, even though it can be messy, it's a great way to engage them in sensory activities that they might feel are a little bit more mature, or for older kids. Letting them engage in safe science experiments, let them look things up and try them. Those are all great ways to incorporate sensory activities for older kids as well. So now let's talk about the giveaway. I am so excited to partner with Knowledge Crate to bring one of you a full sensory play mini crate. To enter into the giveaway, click the link down below in the description box to my Instagram, where you will see a post. Follow those directions to enter into the giveaway to get a chance to win one of these sensory mini crates. After you entered, be sure to comment down below so that I know that you entered over on Instagram, and to get an additional entry for the giveaway. Comment down below with what sensory activity you are most excited about from this sensory mini crate. If you have any questions about sensory play, about knowledge crates, about any of those things, comment down below. You can always DM me also over on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you feel inspired to jump into sensory play, or maybe you've done sensory play before, but you just kind of like haven't done it in a while and you needed to get re-inspired, or maybe you needed to see how easy it can be for someone who you're like, I'm not good at this stuff, or at the very least got the opportunity to enter the giveaway and kind of just have it made completely easy for you and just hitting the easy button on it. Also, I want to be sure to remind you that you can use code ROOTEDBONUS for the book bundle bonus at purchase of either the sensory mini crate, any of the other mini crates, or the seasonal subscription. But I also want to remind you that for the seasonal subscription, you can use Rooted15 for 15% off your subscription. Now that won't work for the minis, but only for the subscriptions. However, Rooted Bonus will give you a bundle of books to go along with any of the knowledge crates that you choose. You can use both of them just separately. Let me know down below if you enjoyed hearing about sensory play. What are your favorite sensory activities? I would love to hear that. If you're new here, introduce yourself in the comments. I'd love to say hi and get to know you guys. If you are not already following me over on Instagram, be sure to follow me there at rooted_homelife. And I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. Until next time, stay rooted.
But we get up and start from the ground.